Hello and welcome to a Sunday Million highlight show. This one from the 10th of June 2012. 5,776 runners generating that big $1.1 million prize pool. All up for grabs as we zero in on the final table. Numbers a little bit down as they tend to be at this time of year. Apparently something's going on in Las Vegas. No idea what. But still a huge tournament with massive prizes. Remember, just a $215 buy-in. And an angry moron is covering this final table for you. And there's also one in second place. Quality screen name. Lucky Dave leads the way from Austria as we jump into hand number 6. 100,000, 200,000 will be your blinds. And a couple of short stacks. RB79S with the shortest is in the big blind. The somewhat playable hand, so we'll see if he gets involved. Len Balls, 10-14. Opens things up with Ace-Queen for the Canadian player. Just doubles the big blind, as players tend to do these days at final tables. Everyone behind Len will get out the way. Leggy Bluffs will fold. And with the latest position raise and not too many chips, this could be the moment for RB79S. It is. In goes his money. Len Balls will call and have an edge. Also has plenty of chips behind. RB79S does not. This is for his tournament life. And it doesn't look good so far. Can catch a 10 as well as a king. 2 of clubs doesn't change anything. Looking for a lifeline on the river, and the 8 of hearts won't get it done. Len Balls scoops this one. RB79S, the first to leave us, the Dutch player, scoring 9 grand for his $215 buy-in. Great run through the tournament and leaves us 8-handed. This is hand number 11. XPDCX running low on chips but not getting involved with that junky hand. And Angry Moron will fold. A few players might have opened there. He'll leave it to Boyton to open with the Queen 7. The computer hand, called the computer hand because players think up rubbish nicknames, I presume. Lucky Dave will call out the big blind and we'll see a flop. Not sure about this blind defence from Lucky Dave, but he may well have a plan. Flopping a straight draw could be part of that plan. Boyton, we'll think about this one. It's not an amazing flop. It's quite hits a defender's range quite a lot with the 10-9, but he will try and take it down. Now, how does Lucky Dave play this? Can't see him folding with that straight draw, and he will get aggressive and check raise. Boyton, you'd have thought, would be done with this one. But you never know. If he continues, he's going to be re-bluffing. But no, he does fold. And Lucky Dave will get lucky with a nice flop and take one down. He is your chip leader. Just under 14 million. And number 12, still playing the 100, 200k blind level. And PDC will fold the ace with 11 big blind. I think it's a good fold. It's bad ace, and he can take a few more hands, I think. Angry Moron will open this one with the King 9 suited. Len Balls has King Queen and a vaguely humorous name. Might just flat call here with King Queen. No, goes for the 3-bet. And Lucky Dave gets out of the way. Nailage 90 with a nice looking hand, but not with a 3-bet in front. And Angry Moron, you'd expect to just fold here a lot of the time. Although he does have a lot of chips behind, and he's been 3-bet on the button, so he may fight back. He does fight back with a sequential bet. It's a small 4-bet and puts Lemballs in a slightly odd spot. Does have position, being asked to call a very small bet, but makes a disciplined laydown. We could see he had the best hand, but he, of course, only beats a bluff there. Angry Moron was bluffing. Nice play by him. Nice play by both of them. On we go with the blinds up. 125 and 250. Now you're blind level, and things looking pretty bad for PDC under 10 big blinds. Everyone else a little bit safer. A few players around the 15 big blind level. Lucky Dave, not one of them. Your chip leader opens the action here. Now, if you didn't know this was a highlight show, you might think this one would just be over. It's not going to be. Something awesome's going to happen. PDC makes his move. Thinks he might just get it in good here against Lucky Dave, who's probably going to be opening a lot of hands with the chip lead. Quite like his logic. And we can see with the cards up that he actually does have the best hand with the King Deuce. He's the all-in player, though. 4.4 million up for grabs and a way back into this tournament if the King can hold. Nice flop for him. No real draws for Lucky Dave. And Ace of Spades means he's covering spades, so just a non-spade Queen or Jack. That's a non-spade Queen or Jack. It's so brutal, isn't it, sometimes? I mean, of course, PDC's going in with a short stack. He can't really complain, but what a tease poker can be. XPDCX from Germany is your 8th place finisher in the million this week. $14.4 thousand to him. On we go. Lucky Dave has opened a bad ace here, and nice spot for nailage with the ace king. That's what you want with your 15 big blinds. A big hand and someone raising in front makes poker easy. Don't think you can see him getting called here either. And I know he has ace king, but at this stage of the game, he'll probably take the free chips. They're not free there. He had to bet to get them, of course, but they are uncontested chips. And Lucky Dave makes the call. Wow. A slightly surprising call. But then he is the chip leader facing an all-in. I guess he figured Nailage is shoving with worse. Great spot for Nailage. He is the all-in player. He could still get unlucky here. But the board runs out, and that's a nice double up. Nice spot for him. Lucky Dave's still the chip leader. Doesn't want to make too many more missteps like that. So easy to be chip leader and turn your big stack into a medium stack by doubling up short stacks. Padrak 77, first time we've seen him in action during this highlight show. He's opened at ace 5. And Lucky Dave, drunk with power. The big stack has gone straight to his right hand. I can play all of them. Jack 8 offsuit is profitable. He's flat called. Leggy Bluffs has also flat called. Was he a 3-way pot? Could be interesting. And why not play all the hands if you're going to flop top pair? Nice flop for Lucky Dave. Leggy Bluffs with the heart draw and Padrak with a backdoor club draw and a backdoor straight draw and an overcard. So don't be thinking he hasn't got anything. He's going to check. That seems fair. And Lucky Dave, you'd have guessed, would bet his top pair. And Leggy Bluffs may well just put it in here. 3 million behind. 3 million and change in the middle. Yeah, in goes the money. Padrak will get out the way. And Lucky Dave makes an easy call with top pair. Quite a big pot, this one. 8 million in the middle. Leggy Bluffs, the all-in player, needs to find a heart. Finds a 10. So another 10 would also help. Jack locks it up for Lucky Dave. He's over the 20 million mark. Busts another player. Leggy Bluffs sent to the rail. 7th spot for the Canadian player. $25,400 for him, and we're six-handed. And Lucky Dave, well, living up to his screen name a little bit, but he's wielding that big stack effectively, and looks like he's going to be tough to stop. Nailage has opened with ace-queen here, which seems reasonable. Folded around to Lucky Dave, who defends the bad ace. Well, it's worked so far, playing almost every hand. It's going to keep working. This is an easy game, this poker. Just get a load of chips, play all the hands, and then hit the flop. I'm actually going to write that down. I've never thought of that. He's outdrawn Nailage here. Of course, it's a little bit hard for him to know that he's outdrawn him. He's made a pair, but it's not a particularly friendly flop against under the gun razor. Nailage has good equity in the hand as well. Can catch a 10 or a queen. Lucky Dave will call the flop bet. A blank on the turn. And this is all about how Nailage decides to play this. He doesn't know Lucky Dave has an ace, so he could think his ace is good as well. So he does have, in his head, a lot of outs here. Wouldn't be surprised to see him bet again because, yeah, there you go. He can get a fold, or he can, of course, improve on the river. There's just so many hands that Lucky Dave can have that he could potentially get him to fold. So many one-pair hands. Is Lucky Dave minded to fold? He's not. 5 million in the middle as we go to the river. And, well, Lucky Dave gets lucky with the way that board has run out. And what does Nailage do? He knows this is one of those horrible spots where it's so easy to spew chips. He knows that he can't be winning after Lucky Dave calls the turn. And yet it's such a horrible card to try and bluff. Yeah, well, Nailage does the decent thing and shuts it down. 5 million chips slide over to Lucky Dave. This looks like his tournament, doesn't it? Everything going for him. Well, hopefully everything will go for you if you enter our free roll tournament. The online poker show free roll gives you a free shot at a Sunday Million seat. I'll give you the password later in the show.
We are anticipation. Committed. Anonymous. Focused. Holding it in. We are poker.
Welcome back to the Sunday Million highlight show where Lucky Dave is steamrollering this field, the Austrian well in charge and hitting everything. Can anybody stop him? Question mark. It's rhetorical, we'll find out. Keep watching. Nailage chips up a little bit over the next few hands to keep his hopes alive. Padrak from Greece, your short stack, but still with chips that could do damage to the others, so by no means out of it. We're playing 125, 250. Boyton will open this one with ace jack, and Lucky Dave will definitely call here. I haven't seen this. I'm just extrapolating previous trends. Bingo. 9-8 suited. Actually quite a nice hand in position, isn't it? We'll see a flop. And Boyton does connect, but so does Lucky Dave. This is a fun flop. As you can see, Boyton with the edge, but Lucky Dave with good equity with his open-ended straight draw, and even better equity because he hasn't missed yet. He's hot, and that counts for a lot at the pokers. Now, Boyton will have been watching Lucky Dave play, and you've got to think he'll just keep things simple and go for 3 streets of value here. Lucky Dave calls the flop bet. And like falling off a log, makes his straight on the turn. It's an easy game. Boyton decides to check here, which is interesting. I know the flush draw has arrived, as has the straight draw. I think Lucky Dave's got a lot more one-pair hands in his range, but the reality is he has way more than one pair. This is kind of grim for Boyton, isn't it? Put yourself in his position. Well, he does the right thing and puts his money in. I like the play. He's going to be extremely frustrated that Lucky Dave, who's using his big stack to play every hand, has managed to hit a monster on him. Another heart on the river makes no difference. Neither player has one. Boyton, very unlucky in that hand, I think. Actually like the way he played it on reflection, and just unlucky to run into a big hand, run into the juggernaut that is Lucky Dave at this final table. Boyton takes home just $3.60 under $37,000 for sixth. We're into the big money. And Padraig can wait no longer. Finds an ace and puts the short stack in the middle. Unluckily for him, runs into a genuinely big hand. Len balls with the 2 tens. Big edge here. Padraig needs to get lucky, or his race is run. No help for him there. 3 of diamonds doesn't change anything, so just an ace on the river. And 7 of diamonds won't get it done. The 10s hold up. Len balls moves into 3rd spot, and we're 4-handed. Padraig leaves us with $48,500. Huge money as ever in the million. $166,000 will go to the winner of this one, which so far has looked like Lucky Dave. However, things can change very fast when we get short-handed, as I'm sure you know. This is hand 59 with Lucky Dave opening on the button and getting 3-bet by Nailage. It's interesting that he's decided to attack Lucky Dave. He must know he's going to get this bet called a lot the way Lucky Dave's been playing. But good to stay aggressive. He can't hit every flop. 3.5 million in the middle after Lucky Dave's call. Nailage now out of position. And Lucky Dave can hit every flop, just as an amendment to my previous commentary. I was way off there. Outdraws his opponent on the flop again. Sometimes in a poker tournament this happens, doesn't it? A player just gets on a roll and they're just unstoppable. Happens even in the million, one of the biggest field tournaments around. Not much you can do when he's constantly hitting, and not much Nailage can do here. I'm not sure, big picture, I'm not sure about the tactical wisdom of that 3-bet. But Nailage gets out the way and does manage to fold the worst hand, so credit to him for that. Didn't get caught up in his aggression. He's the short stack as we carry on with 4-handed play. And a couple of real hands here. Len balls opens the ace-queen of diamonds. He's had that before. And gets 3-bet by Lucky Dave. So Len balls is the effective stack here with... what does he have? Around about 35 big blinds at the start of the hand. Now, just thinking about that because he doesn't have too many chips, and that might be an opportunity to get them in against Lucky Dave, but decides against it. So action back round on Len balls, and you'd have thought the money would go in here. And Len balls may convince himself he has enough chips not to put the money in. But no, in it goes, not messing around. And I like the shove, trying to get Lucky Dave to call as he's called so many times before with way worse. And Lucky Dave actually folds the 9s. Well, that's really interesting. If Len balls could see the cards, he'd probably take that, gets to pick up the dead money, doesn't have to race for all his chips. But maybe a little surprising that Dave didn't call that one off. 200,000, 400,000 is the blind level, hand number 74. And just seen Angry Moron's avatar. I mean, there's no way you should be angry at that age. We've got to be angry about it. You get all your food made for you. You have no job, no responsibilities. Bizarre. Len balls opens the ace-10, and I think Nailage might put the money in here. Yep, in it goes. Around about 10 big blinds, an ace versus a button raiser, and it's so annoying when you run into a bigger ace in this kind of spot. Nothing you can do with a short stack. Needs to get lucky, and does get lucky. Monster flop for Nailage. Nails it. And locks it up on the turn. Wow. Pretty unlucky for Len balls, but the lifeline that Nailage wanted, he's right back in this thing. This is hand 82. Lucky Dave with more than half the chips in play. And looking unstoppable. But a couple of double throughs and things would change. So let's see if anyone can make that happen against him. He's going to call with the threes here against Angry Moron's open raise. And no improvement on the flop. This is one of those impossible hold'em spots you try not to get into with the small pair out of position. Lucky Dave's actually winning, but pretty tough to know that you're winning. Especially against the cut-off open. Angry Moron will continue the aggression. Lucky Dave will call. 4.1 in the middle. Lucky Dave winning so far. And finally gets outdrawn. Certainly had the best of the running on the final table up to now, but that queen changes things. Now, how does Angry Moron view this? Does he think he can get paid twice? Because if not, he might well check this and try and get paid on the river. Yeah, that's the line he's going to go for. I think that probably makes a lot of sense. And that's a great card for him to get paid, isn't it? I'm sure Lucky Dave will pay off this river bet. He'll think, well, he checked the turn, and now he's just trying to bluff me on the river. Angry Moron will bet a little under half the pot. What does Lucky Dave think about this one? It's an enticing bet. Yeah, he does make the call. It's a nice play from Angry Moron. I think he played that perfectly. Won the maximum. Might well have just got a fold if he'd bet that turn. Hand number 85. And we're still playing four-handed. Angry Moron with a bit of momentum and a nice hand to open on the button with. Lone balls will fold. And Lucky Dave may not fold if recent trends are continued. And he does not. We'll see a flop. And Angry Moron in charge here. Nice flop for him. Open-ended straight draw and the two overcards. Lucky Dave has the gut shot. Well, last time we saw Lucky Dave make a blind defense like this and flop a little bit of something, he check raised. This time he's going to lead out. It wouldn't surprise me if Angry Moron attacked this. Well, just decides to flat call for now. 3.4 million in the middle. Plenty of chips behind for both of them. And well, that improves Lucky Dave's hand slightly. Brings the diamond draw. Or completes the diamond draw, if you prefer. Angry Moron still with the two overcards and the straight draw. Of course, he does technically have the best hand if we stopped it right now. Decides to bet. I like the bet. Lucky Dave having donked the flop and now checked the turn. Doesn't look too strong, does he? He will persevere, though. 6.7 million and change in the middle. And the 8 doesn't change anything. So 10-9 is still going to play here. And Angry Moron will think, I can't believe I just can't make a hand. No one can make a hand. It's like, oh, I've won. Lovely. Who knew the 10-9 was good? Important pot really closes the gap between first and second.
We are competition. Aggression. Calculating. We are trapped. fighting back. We are heroes. We are poker.
Welcome back to the Sunday Million. As promised, here's your online poker show free roll password. The password is Storm, and the free roll kicks off at 3:35 Eastern Standard Time on the 14th of June. 4 players up for the Sunday Million title and $166,000 in cash. Lucky Dave has dominated proceedings, been the chip leader for a long time, and got the cards when he's needed them. But Angry Moron's made a run at him, and the other two are not out of it. This one is up for grabs. We're playing 200,000, 400,000. So nobody's super short stacked. Everyone over the 20 big blind mark, which makes things interesting. Looks like we're going to see a blind battle here between Lucky Dave and Nailage. Lucky Dave will open and Nailage will call in position. Thinks he wants to see a jack. He really doesn't. There's a jack. No hearts for either player. And Lucky Dave is the pre-flop raiser. Decides to check. Nailage with the same jack, but out-kicked. We'll check it back. Both looking for a harmless turn, you'd have thought. Well, I think that king is probably going to convince both of them that their hand is good. Don't think either will believe the other has a king, so a pair of jacks becomes that bit stronger. Lucky Dave bets. And Nailage 90. You would expect to continue. Yeah, he does make the call. We've got 3.3 million in the middle. And a river card that, well, makes the board a little bit more connected. Doesn't change the fact that Lucky Dave has the best hand here. Now, Nailage might value own himself at this point. He may convince himself into thinking, how could I not have the best hand here? And I think that is what's happened. I think this is a value bet, and unfortunately, it's the dreaded value own yourself. He's value bet Lucky Dave's hand for him. Pretty understandable given the way it went down. But maybe he should know better than to tangle with Lucky Dave at this final table. Angry Moron, the only player that's had kind of consistent success against him, and he will find a nice hand on the button. This may be bad for Len Balls. King Queen's a great hand in the small blind. He's got a nice stack to put his money in. I think that's the right play, but unfortunately for him, he's run into a better hand. Not going to happen that often in this spot, but Angry Moron has him Ace-Jack is the favourite. Angry Moron's thinking about this. 7.7 million. But it's not a ton of blinds. I mean, unless Len Balls has been playing super tight, I think he has to call this off. I mean, well, he'd have to have been playing so tight to fold this. I don't think he'd ever do that. Yeah, he does make the call. 18 million in the middle. It means everything to Len Balls. Big pot for both players. And no help. So the ace still holding sway. 8 doesn't change anything. Just the river. And Len can't catch. So he'll finish in 4th spot. Angry Moron will take the chip lead. Just over 26 million now. Len Balls 10-14 from Canada, scoring $64,864. Very nice. We're three-handed. The money jumps are getting serious. All these players have got 93 grand locked up, which is strong. This is hand 99. And our 2 chip leaders in the blinds with Nailage on the sideline praying that they get into some ludicrous big pot and one of them goes broke. We'd only make him 52 grand if that happened. Be pretty fun for him to watch, wouldn't it? Well, it's not impossible now. Both of them flop top pair. Tough to see it becoming a really big pot, because you'd have thought they're both aware of the situation. But who knows? Lucky Dave bets. Angry Moron calls. And a pretty harmless looking 4 of diamonds on the turn. These 2 chip stacks almost identical. And Lucky Dave will bet 1.5 million. It's a reasonably dry board. I think Angry Moron thinks he can just make the most money by check calling it down here. Oh, well, this is fun. Well, Nailage might get his wish. Could be a 50k plus cooler in his favour. Trip Queens on the river for both players as the Case Queen arrives. Extraordinary river card. Lucky Dave will bet 3 million. And does the money go in? Well, it would be absolutely extraordinary with these 2 in the chip lead. And no, Angry Moron just calls. Wow. What a decision that is. He wins the pot. He takes the chip lead. But when he sees the cards, he's going to be distraught. And if he doesn't win this tournament, he will look back on that hand. And, I mean, it's really easy, obviously, when you know the other guy. He can see the cards and he has a big hand. But surely you've got to give him the chance to make a mistake there. Anyway, we've moved on. Nailage is all in with the ace on the button. Needs this to hold up. He's got his money in good here. Survives through the flop. Turn brings a spade draw for Lucky Dave. Makes a straight for Nailage. And it'll hold. So, this tournament is changing quickly. Angry Moron now a big chip leader. Nailage in second and long-time chip leader Lucky Dave down to third. It would change again over the next few hands, with Lucky Dave winning a pot against Nailage and moving up again. That pot that Nailage won with a straight actually is about the first time he's got anything out of Lucky Dave. And this may be the final statement in that trend of Lucky Dave holding over him. He does the right thing, he's shoving from the King 10, but he's running into Lucky Dave's big ace king. Will probably be heads up here unless Nailage can get lucky. No dice on the flop. Well, there's some chop pots out there, but not too likely. And Nailage can't improve on the river. And Lucky Dave will scoop it. Nailage will finish third spot, $93,500. And it's heads up between Lucky Dave 83 and Angry Moron for the big money. The 2 of them would do a deal. You can understand that. Very close in stacks at the start of this heads up. Still playing for nearly 20k in cash and the Sunday Million title. I'll confirm their payouts at the end. Angry Moron won the first few exchanges. This is the first real hand of heads up where both of them have had something. Hand 1-3-5 and Lucky Dave 3 bets Angry Moron. Angry Moron from Belarus. Lucky Dave from Austria. And Angry Moron's going to go with this hand. Makes the 4 bet. And how does Lucky Dave see this? King 10 offsuit. Doesn't play great against a 4 betting hand, but he's committed now. There's a lot of money in the middle. Lucky Dave goes with it. Angry Moron will call, and this one could be over quickly. Angry Moron has Lucky Dave in all sorts of trouble. 48 million in the middle. Lucky Dave really needs to get lucky now. He needs that king or that 10. A 5 for a chop. So a few outs for Angry Moron to fade. Otherwise, he's your champ. And a queen puts the icing on the cake for Angry Moron. The only man who could win a pot off Lucky Dave ends up beating him up in the heads up and winning $166,000 and change. A fantastic performance from him. A great run through this huge tournament. Second spot, Lucky Dave 83, who gave us a lot of entertainment. Look, the winner for most of the final table. And Nailage from Germany rounds out your podium finishes. Another fun Sunday Million final table. There'll be another one from us this time next week. Until then, have a great week, play good and run even better. From everyone at PokerStars.tv, take care.